You know, we've all seen it happen. There's this brilliant idea, this super detailed plan, and then just nothing. So today we're gonna figure out why. We're not just talking about thinking strategically. We're talking about how you actually build the bridge from a great idea to real, actual success.
So let's just kick things off with a question that probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. You've sat in those meetings, you've seen the flashy presentations, so why? Why do so many of these amazing strategic plans just sort of fizzle out? Why do they end up collecting dust in a drawer or just lost on some server somewhere?
And yeah, that right there is the core problem we're digging into today. This is that moment where all that initial excitement just hits a total brick wall, where all that amazing potential just seems to evaporate. So let's get into why these plans get stuck on paper.
Okay, here's the simple, maybe even a little brutal truth of it all. A plan, I don't care how clever it is just words on a page if there's no process to bring it to life. The magic isn't in just having the idea, it's in actually building that bridge from the idea to a real-world outcome. So, the real question becomes, how do we build that bridge?
This brings us to the big idea for today's whole explainer. It's about shifting how we think, away from just writing a plan and toward actually making that strategy real. It's got to be an active, living, breathing process, not some dusty old document.
So let's totally redefine what we even mean by strategy. Forget the static document. A real strategy, well, it's like a map for a journey. It's this active process of plotting a course, of navigating from where you are right now, your point A, to that awesome destination you want to reach, your point B. Thinking about it this way, well, it changes everything.
And this whole journey really breaks down into 3 pretty powerful steps. First up, define the destination. I mean, what does success really look like when you get there? Get specific. Second, chart the course. What are the big key milestones you have to hit along the way? And third, and this is often the trickiest part, you've got to navigate the crew. How do you get everybody on the same page, rowing in the same direction? And that brings us to our next big point. Because navigating the crew means you have to deal with the human element, and that includes this really powerful force of skepticism. We've got to talk about what the source material here calls the bleak side.
Does that sound familiar? Oh man, it's the ultimate momentum killer, isn't it? The second a new idea hits the table, you hear this phrase, or some version of it. It's that one voice that can just suck all the energy right out of a room in an instant.
Now the key here is to really understand this archetype. These aren't necessarily bad people who are trying to sabotage everything. They are team members who are just wired this way. They literally can't help but look on the bleak side. Their gut instinct is to find every single possible obstacle.
And here's where it gets dangerous. If you don't manage that energy, it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This kind of unchecked pessimism can poison team morale, it can create division, and it can stop a truly brilliant strategy dead in its tracks before it even gets a chance to get going.
So what do you do about it? You can't just ignore these voices, and you definitely can't just tell people to be more positive. The answer, according to our sources, is all about using a very specific tool to manage this dynamic: the power of facilitation. This is such a key insight. The goal isn't to shut down the people on the bleak side. Hey, sometimes their concerns are totally valid. The real goal is to manage the conversation itself. You want to create a structure where their critical thinking actually becomes a useful asset instead of some kind of destructive force.
And this just perfectly illustrates the difference. Think about it. In a typical unfacilitated meeting, that skeptical energy just takes over. The whole conversation gets stuck on problems, which leads to deadlock, and everyone gets defensive. But in a facilitated session, the entire dynamic shifts. The focus moves to solutions, and that's what drives progress and builds real, honest-to-goodness team alignment.
So, what does a good facilitator actually do? Well, they've got some specific techniques. They acknowledge the concern so the person feels heard, but they don't let it completely derail the meeting. They help reframe a problem, like we don't have the budget, into a challenge to be solved. Like, okay, how can we hit this goal with the budget we actually have? They channel all that critical energy into constructive planning. And maybe most importantly, they make sure every single voice in that room is contributing to one thing: moving forward.
Okay, so let's bring all this home and start thinking about how you can begin plotting your own course.
I want you to remember the big idea here. Your strategy shouldn't be some stone tablet handed down from on high. It should be a living map, one that you can update as you go. And look, knowing your destination is vital, for sure, but successfully navigating the people with all their hopes, their fears, and yes, their bleak sides, that is the most crucial and challenging part of the entire journey.
So I'll just leave you with this one question for your own projects, your own goals. Forget about the grand 5-year vision for just a second. What is the very first point on your map? What's that first step? Find that, and you've already started making your strategy real.